Good morning, all. I am Ravichandra Honalli, Assistant Professor, Civil Department, BITM Ballari. Today, I will be dealing with the Module 4 of Ground Improvement Technique, that is vibration methods. These are the contents: introduction, vibro method. In the vibro method, we have two vibro methods: vibro compaction and vibro displacement. Today I am dealing with blasting, vibratory probe or Terra probe, vibro displacement. In that, displacement piles, vibro flotation, sand compaction piles, stone column, and heavy tamping. Let us discuss with the introduction. What is vibration? Vibration is the ground improvement technique which would bring in deformation and displacement, resulting in densification of the ground. Okay, this technique for compacting cohesion-less soils arranged in order of decreasing effectiveness are vibration, watering, and then again compacting, that is through rolling. In practice, combination of these techniques, that is vibration, watering, and rolling, have been used in improving the many properties of the in situ soils. Okay, the cohesion-less soils get densified largely by fracture and orientation of the grains. When we vibrate, the cohesion-less soil get densified by largely fracture and orientation, and the static forces are not effective in the cohesionless soils, but both vibration and shock are helpful in reducing the wedging and aiding densification in cohesionless soil. This is about the brief introduction about the vibration. Next, vibration methods. As I told before, vibration method, that is vibro compaction. In that we have blasting and vibratory probe. Okay, vibro compaction method is a rapid densification technique which would be used effectively in saturated cohesionless soil. Okay, in such loose deposits, vibration and shock waves cause localized spontaneous liquefaction, which followed by the densification and settlement. Due to shock and vibration, the particles move from original position and take a more compact pattern. Okay, once the particles are free or loosen due to the shock, even small pressure is enough to put them in a compact state. Okay, the effectiveness of these methods decrease with increase in percentage of fines. With the increasing percentage of fine in the soil, this effectiveness of vibro compaction decreases. There are three methods which are in use as a vibro compaction methods. Those are blasting, vibratory probe, and vibratory compactors. Okay, let us move towards the first thing. What is blasting? Okay, in the blasting technique, certain amount of explosive charge is buried at a certain depth of a cohesionless soil required to be compacted and is then detonated. Okay, due to the blasting, the shock waves they are going to produce, which cause the densification of the soil. Okay, that is the exploding in sand which causes the densification. That exploding is controlled, which is a controlled, that blasting is controlled. The explosive charge buried in soil and detonated. Okay, the principal shock waves produced by blasting which causes the densification. Okay, the procedure which this blasting, which consists of a pipe of about 7.5 to 10 centimeter, is driven to a required depth in a soil strata. The sticks of dynamite and electric detonator are wrapped in waterproof bundles and lowered through the casing. Okay, the casing is withdrawn in a wad of paper or wood is placed against the charge of explosives to protect it from misfire. The hole is backfilled with sand in order to obtain the full force of the blast. The electrical circuit is closed to fire the charge. A series of holes are thus made ready. Each hole is detonated in a succession and resulting large diameter holes formed by the lateral displacement. The surface settlements are measured by taking the levels at a certain depth below the ground surface. Okay, the depth less than 10 meter, the blast is entire. From this method that we can compact the soil up to 70 to 80% we can achieve the relative density. Adequate data regarding the soil type, depth of what is the depth and what is the degree of saturation of the soil, what is the relative density to be achieved is required. Okay, this is about the blasting. The second thing is vibratory probe, or also it is called as the Terra probe. Vibratory probe is also called as Terra probe, which consists of vibro driver coupled to an open-ended steel tubular probe of 760 mm diameter and 15-meter length. Okay, vibro driver with open-ended steel tubular probe 760 mm diameter and 15-meter length, and the vibration is about 15 hertz. Okay, which is held about 30 to 60 seconds before extraction. A spacing of that was about 1 to 3 meter square pattern. The influence area is about 1 meter cylinder and 1 meter deeper than the probe depth. The greater depths saturation, if the greater depths are there, then saturation is preferable, and which is this vibratory probe is less cost and which is more useful in case of offshore locations. And this vibratory probe is also faster and which is less effective than vibro flotation. As compared to vibro flotation, this is less effective. Okay, this vibratory probe first which consists of a vibro driver which activates the probe to vibrate in a vertical direction and imparts a vertical impulse, normally at 15 hertz with 10 to 25 mm amplitude. This vibration enables the vertical pipe to penetrate the loose material. The probe is sunk to the desired depth and held for 30 to 60 seconds before extraction. Spacing of about 1 to 3 meter is generally adopted. And here the square pattern is followed with fifth probe at the center. At the each corner, that is the square pattern, at each corner 4 probes are inserted, and the fifth one is at the center to achieve the increase in densification instead of adopting the spacing, reduced spacing. Okay, this operation is very efficient when the groundwater is about 2 to 3 meters from the surface. In order to evaluate the effectiveness of this technique and to decide the proper spacing test, section of order 10 to 20 meter may be utilized. This technique needs no backfilling. The cost of densification by this method is moderate. Thus, this technique is preferred for densifying offshore locations. Okay, this is about vibratory probe. Then vibro compaction. Vibro compaction is a rapid densification technique for saturated cohesionless soils, and localized liquefaction, which is followed by densification and the compaction. And then the effectiveness which decreases with the increase in the, as I told, with increasing percentage of fines in the soil, which decreases the effectiveness, which decreases this vibro compaction. Then blasting, Terra probe, these are the vibro compaction techniques only. The next thing is vibro displacement. Vibrations with active displacement of the particle. When we vibrate, there is an active displacement of the particles which takes place. That is nothing but vibro displacement. Okay, after displacing that, subsequent backfilling is required.